I fucking finished. I mean, I freaking finished my coffee.
It's ready for another if you want
Mm.
it.
Hey.
World known couples, and
Yeah.
world known couples. When I hear world known couples, you said Beyonce, Jay-Z, John Legend and Chrissy Teigen.
Okay. Beyonce,
Armand and
Jay-Z,
Lily.
Armand. Okay.
Um,
So there's three.
well, think about it. Your grandma knows, and she lives.
All right. You're right. You're right.
That's worldly. Let's see.
But I think PK and Shakira, right? Shakira, everyone knows,
Yeah.
world star,
Yes.
and then PK, soccer player, Barcelona forever,
World Cup winner.
World Cup winner. He was on Spain
Yep.
for a while.
David Beckham and when they were together.
Victoria Beckham
when they were together.
There we go.
But I would have to read like I'd have to read like the People's Tabloid version.
Brady Giselle.
Brady Giselle, yep. Brady Giselle.
So maybe they aren't too high on the
Mark
list.
Anthony when he was with Jennifer Lopez.
Okay. And then Jennifer Lopez A-Rod.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez A-Rod. Famous couple.
So maybe
who's another one like overseas like Shakira and PK? Also, I just thought of something. Speaking of David Beckham, did you see how they announced their new like his the jersey kits, the new jerseys
for Inter Miami or for Manchester United? But I didn't.
Inter Miami?
No, I didn't. No.
Let me check.
How did they announce?
No, I think it was the NWSL team.
Oh.
That.
Oh, for Kansas City?
No, because he's.
That's why I was confused. I saw that, but
let me see really quick. They took him under the ocean. The photos under the ocean. It was so cool. No, of course not. I can't find it. Who did David Beckham play for over his career? Man U.
I think
Galaxy.
I think Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And then LA Galaxy. I feel like those are the big teams.
So I'm glad we got into soccer because I talked to Nico yesterday. Mm-hmm. Lots of transfers happening. Lots of big names going places this year, he says. Big one. Mbappe.
He thinks Mbappe's leaving.
He thinks he's going to Real Madrid, leaving PSG. And I can't remember if it's because of a contract. Oh, no. Cristiano Ronaldo, his contract's coming up, is going to be expired. And he thinks he's going to go back to Man U to end his career.
Really?
Yes. So Mbappe to Madrid, Ronaldo to Manchester United, which I like because more competitive. And I think that
Ronaldo to Manchester United.
Yes.
So they think Mbappe to Real Madrid.
And then two Dortmund players. The one that we talk about a lot. Haaland. And then I think another forward.
Sancho?
No, not Sancho. But he says they'll probably leave as well, which is very interesting.
Where does he think Haaland will go? Man City?
He didn't say. He just thinks that they're going to be leaving because it's probably for competitive reasons.
Okay.
Not wanting to play in the German league anymore.
Well, Aguero's going to Barcelona.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
And Haaland has always wanted to. People thought, what if Haaland goes to what's it called? Man City, which makes sense because Man City's losing Aguero for Real Madrid. And Mbappe, today something came out. PSG lost. They didn't win France. Lille won. Lille.
So if that's the first time, that's like the Italian league.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like German league, Bayern Munich won. I think I don't know for how long. They always win. The one they haven't won, it was maybe Dortmund won this season. I don't know. PSG has won for the most part.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Oh, there you go.
What's the France league? Is it
Ligue
Liga?
1. Yeah, Ligue. Ligue.
And then you look up Germany's.
There we go.
Yeah. Because I'm curious to see how. Because when did you first hear of? And it's probably way earlier than when I first heard them. But Bayern Munich. When did you first hear of them? If you can recall, or a time when you first heard.
I feel like I knew of them like when I was younger. Like if you want to put a time, maybe 2005, 2006, maybe a little like that, because there were two Iranian players who went to Bayern Munich. So like that was a big. So maybe like I knew of them because I remember I always heard those Iranian players went to Germany.
Yeah.
But definitely like 09, 10, I don't know when you heard of them, but around then.
Was one forward still there? Gomez.
Gomez.
Yeah.
I remember watching them play. We saw Gomez. We saw Mueller. Gomez. Gomez leaves. Klose. Klose was there for a while.
Yep. Klose or Klaus?
I thought it was Klose.
Maybe it's either or. Yeah.
Because he's the world record holder for most goals in World Cup history.
Crazy, ain't it?
And Mueller.
That's a good trivia question.
Mueller could have broken it. We could have seen another German break it if they did something last World Cup.
Yeah, how many? Did he have? We were talking about World Cups on the phone too, when I was talking to Nico, and we recalled that time where Germany blew Brazil out of the water on their own field. What is that? A chef's kiss.
I never liked Brazil, and I never liked Spain. Probably because they're so good. But
but Germany's
terrible. Always cheered against them. I don't mind Germany. I don't know why.
No, I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. You like
because Brazil always South America. They're always number one.
Mm-hmm.
Spain for like a good near decade.
Yeah,
they were number one. They would beat Italy all the time. It was like LeBron James on the Heat. It was just it felt like that, but times two. They were just beating everyone you liked. And when I was cheering for Italy around then, it was kind of like when I was cheering for the Pistons. Pistons would keep getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose and lose and lose. And it was like people were teaming up because who did they lose to first? Dwayne Wade. And then who did they lose to next? LeBron James. And I remember they're saying LeBron James was on the phone with his good friend Dwayne Wade, and he was giving him hints of how to beat the Pistons. Who do they lose to next? The Celtics. And then they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals, and then LeBron James teams up with his friend Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, and then they go. We were talking. Yeah.
Sorry, I went on a tangent.
That is a perfect. That is a clear-cut roadmap. No, that's. You think Steph will leave the Warriors to join a championship team?
We are bouncing.
We're bouncing, but like
I don't think he will.
Because if you think about it, Mbappe, if he wants to win can he win Champions League with PSG? Can you win PSG with Dortmund? He
said they need to do something. He basically said they need to do something.
Can Cristiano Ronaldo win one with
Juventus?
Italy? Yeah, with Juventus. I mean, these players, what meaningful things that happen in their career, whether it's Ronaldo coming to an end, what he wants to do with his, and then Mbappe, who is just getting better, is just becoming the best player in the world each season.
I see that.
At the same time, still getting paid.
I think in soccer's case, it's actually, I want to say it's different, but then in the same way, it's not.
Yeah.
So your point is pretty valid, but they probably, someone like a Ronaldo, him going back to Manchester United, where he was,
has more than just winning.
Years ago. Yeah. Or someone with Mbappe, he's been spending his whole career in France. Very young career already.
Yes.
It seems like a lot, but already young.
Already has a World Cup to his resume.
Already
so
has
whatever comes after that.
But you're right, he wants more. Someone like a Holland he was in Austria, the top team there, but not the top league. He was in Germany, but now he wants a more challenge. He wants to go to maybe England or something. So I think you're right. Those athletes may be wanting something else to their resume. In the sense of Curry, it's Curry seeing, we talk about it with LeBron, what he needs to do to be number one if he can do anything.
Yeah.
But with Curry, what he needs to do to be as high as he can on the all-time leaderboard, whether that's for his position, for his era, or for all time. And maybe that's winning championships. But I don't think I feel like maybe they would want to just keep building in Golden State. I feel like he has that, I don't know, affinity, belonging to Golden State. Maybe he wants to be that I'm going to play here forever type of guy.
Yeah. I got a question for you. All right, so LeBron going to the Lakers was more than just wanting to win a championship there. I think that he felt that there's value and meaning playing for a franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers. And when, because he put in his caption after that game against the playing game against the Warriors, he had mentioned something. It felt good to be in. It felt good to be in Lakers uniform. It felt good to win in a Lakers uniform. Something about putting that on. Is there a club? What club is that in soccer? Because there's so many big name clubs.
Yeah, you're right.
What club is? And I think that's just the play. It's a player itself. Because some players may feel it more meaningful wearing a Knicks jersey, a Chicago Bulls uniform.
No, I think that's a good point. I think to compare it with those, you'd probably say, let's put Nico on the phone, a team like Manchester United.
Yeah.
Or Liverpool, right?
Yeah. On the Spanish side, Real Madrid is literally royalty.
Barcelona, Real Madrid, right? Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, if you shaved your head, you'd be Mr. Worldwide. Get this guy a shaved head and some shades, like Steve right there. That's Mr. Worldwide.
And then you can even say on the Italy side, maybe a team like a Juventus, AC Milan, but we haven't heard them in forever.
Yeah.
But I feel like the first teams we said, Barcelona, Real Madrid, because everyone's known them.
Yeah.
And that might be even higher than teams like Manchester United, Liverpool, because of their history. Comparing it to the NBA teams, you said the Lakers, right? Everyone knows the Lakers in the world. Everyone probably knows Barcelona in the world.
Which one was the richest soccer franchise? Is it PSG or because they're rich, or is it Man City?
Let's see.
It is, and going to the France League, what we were talking about, champions since 2010. There's only been three different winners. Who did you say won this year? Lille. They won it twice since 2010. Marseille won it once, and then Monaco won it once.
So Lille won it this year. How many times did PSG win? Like 3 or 4?
7.
PSG won in a row.
Oh, sorry, 4, and then Monaco won, and then they won 3 in a row after that.
Okay. Well,
but they were in second place, and the times that they weren't in first.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I mean, that's the same thing with Munich in the last, I don't know.
But before that, Lyon, they ran the 2000s.
Since 2007, right? Munich wins in 2008. They get second in 2009. They win in 2010. They get third in 2011. They get second in 2012. That wasn't the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they win 9 straight. Sorry, 10. Yeah, 9 straight. So they've won the last 9. Bayern Munich has.
That's just crazy.
They won the last 9. Dortmund won 2. Then they kept winning every other, and
their manager went to Man City, right?
Bayern Munich.
One of their managers went to Man City, I think.
Pep. A while ago, yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's when I started learning about when he was still the coach at Bayern. And then I remember him going to Man City.
Because he played against the MLS All-Star team.
Yes.
And
I have my scarf.
He kind of got mad at the coach.
Yeah. I don't know what for. They were up 2-0, and he's over here.
What was he getting mad about? He is a little bit of a drama queen. Those managers are kind of drama queens. Lily had said some things about these soccer managers.
No.
But they are kind of, interesting coaches in the sports coaching world.
They get more dramatic than the players sometimes.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, if we're talking now about coaches, there was something we were talking about 4 topics ago that I was going to say.
Yeah.
But I've kind of forgot now.
Uh-huh.
But if
your mind's scattered.
If we're talking about coaches, if we want to say like drama queen coaches or whatnot, you have people like. Sorry, I was reading Lily's comment. She's correcting us there.
Drama Kings.
Drama Kings.
She's right. Drama Kings.
Sorry.
Yes, Drama Kings.
Drama Kings. Ah, yes. But when you talk about Drama King coaches, I don't know. I don't even want to say Drama King. I want to say coaches who their personality
gets more.
Gets more of a show.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like Bob Knight throwing a chair onto the freaking court.
Yeah.
I hear he's just a
Apparently,
he's a mean guy.
The mean guy. Apparently, there's a documentary that kind of shows his like wasn't the very toxic coach.
Yeah. I mean, he did coach at Army, so he ran a very.
He coached at Army. I didn't know he coached at Army. I knew Coach K did, and then comes to Duke.
So that's what people talk about. It's like they're two different coaches with the media, but they both coached at
Wow. Yeah, he goes
a branch of the military.
Interesting. Yeah, those are two different.
Runs a very tight
if we
ship.
are talking about coaches that we think are mean, someone
although Coach K did call out that student journalist.
Yeah, he did, but at least he apologized. Yeah. Anyways, I'm afraid to say things about Coach K because we know we're going to get a comment. Someone's going to awake, and he's going to say, "Skip."
He's like 1,000 miles away.
He said, "You don't think we're going to say we're going to call it? It's like the Batman sign," and he's going to knock on the door. Frank Martin. When he coached at K-State, you always thought he was really mean.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I remember watching a press conference, and we saw with South Carolina, too. He really cares about his players. He looks mean. I mean, you've seen him yell.
Gets red.
But then, he has that respect. So, those are two different types. You had two different types of coaches from the same school, the same start.
Yeah.
The two different types of mean coaches. And you don't see me supporting K-State things a lot, but now I got to start supporting it a little more.
You're supporting Frank Martin.
I'm supporting Frank Martin.
You're supporting South Carolina right now. No, I do remember that after Jacob Poland's final game in the Wildcats.
That's what I remember.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
He has a very human side, and you see that in the ESPN 60 the E60 that they did with him.
Okay, cool.
When South Carolina made their tournament run a few years ago.
And you saw that human side in South Carolina.
Yes.
On that run. And he has a cool story too. He was a bouncer in Florida. He started from nothing, and then he's coached at high levels in K-State college basketball. They took K-State to an Elite Eight.
He did take K-State to an Elite Eight. They lost to Butler in that Elite Eight. So that was a time when K-State, Missouri, and Kansas back-to-back tournaments both made the Elite Eight. Kansas, the only team to win the national title. But then they lost to VCU later on. I think a year after K-State lost. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. That did actually happen. No, that's all right because then it kind of exploited Shaka Smart. He was got hired to Texas.
Shaka Smart, I guess the only good thing he can do is beat KU, and then it seems like he can't do anything. But then he went to Marquette. Now he's at Marquette. But that's basketball talk.
Yeah, we went from celebrity couples to soccer. Speaking of soccer, though, going back to it really quick, U.S. national team did not qualify for the Olympics. We already know. Gold Cup is coming. We have a lot of soccer this summer, my man. We do. We have a lot of soccer.
I'm sorry, you said the richest soccer team?
Yeah.
I looked at Forbes' most recent article from March, I believe.
That's good.
May. No. Most valuable sports teams 2021 in the world.
And?
Cowboys, Yankees, Knicks, and then it's Barcelona, Real Madrid.
So
Barcelona's at $4.76 billion. Real Madrid is $4.75 billion. Knicks at $5 billion. Yankees 5.25 and Cowboys 5.7.
One other thing too, I asked Nico was if Cristiano Ronaldo does go to Man U or wherever he goes, does he still get a big contract and all that? Do you think he's kind of there for towards the end of his career? But he's still too good, I guess, isn't it? I don't know. He says he's still going to get a big contract, but I'm like that. At that point, I feel like you're paying for a name. But then again, I didn't watch a lot of Juventus. You're over here like, Marco, shut up. He's still Ronaldo. He's going to play he's going to start and kick ass.
If Ronaldo's going to get it. I don't know. It took me a long time to accept Ronaldo's greatness. But
then we started watching Champions League.
Yeah.
And whenever he touched the ball.
That's my whole thing. The thing about Ronaldo was maybe I just got irritated that he would always get the credit. He would always be given the credit. But the thing about Ronaldo is he's that once in a generation player. One of the early episodes in Ted Lasso says to that annoying character that you just got lucky because God kissed your left foot. That's kind of like Ronaldo. His foot got kissed. Every time the foot touches, you can guarantee you give the ball to Ronaldo's foot, it's going to the back of the net. And that's a that's a top guarantee. That's pretty good. And that's okay. It might be annoying. It might not even be him that's annoying. It might just be, the way he's being covered, shirt off after making the last penalty kick, but did nothing in the Champions League final. Ronaldo, I remember that one and all that. But
Champions or Euro?
It was a Champions League final. Euro, oh yeah, he was crying.
I was going to say, he didn't do anything in Euro
either. He didn't do
either.
anything. He played for 20-some minutes. He didn't do anything. If they give him the credit because he's the guy.
Yeah. Who did Portugal beat in that game? The
France.
semifinal. No, semifinal. They did beat France, but they beat that was a good Euro. Wales.
Because that's the first time Euro moved from 24 teams in the group stage to from 16 to 24 teams. So that means third place teams could start qualifying. And Portugal, I don't know if Portugal won a game in group stage, but when they got third place, if you look at
I'm looking up the group stage for this year, but I was just thinking Pepe was the main star for that team that year. I feel like all right. No, Ronaldo.
Your main star in the final.
Yes, final.
Okay.
Sorry, that game.
Well, they had a young guy kick his. They had the young guy who came in as a sub kick the winning goal.
I don't know what Benefer means, Mom. Benefer talk.
But what I'm trying to say is Portugal, in group stage, they were with Hungary, Iceland, and Austria. People probably thinking that's an easy group.
Portugal, I'm thinking right now it's an easy group.
Portugal tied every game.
Wow.
So they got the third place, and then they kind of, I feel like, benefited from, they played Croatia, beat them in extra time. They played Poland, beat them in penalty kicks. So they hadn't beat a team on their way to the semifinal. They hadn't beat a team in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
They needed more than 90 minutes. Then they play Wales, who was riding a historic wave in their first ever FIFA tournament.
Yeah.
And I think Wales they just came off beating a top Belgium team 3-1. So Wales, I think they just ended riding their high.
Obviously made it to the semifinals.
Made it to the semi, so Portugal finally got that win 2-0. That was their only win that tournament in 90 minutes because they had to beat France in extra time.
Gotcha.
So that was a very interesting run for Portugal. Well, they tied every game in the group stage. They need extra time penalties. Beating a team off their high, extra time.
Yeah, 3-1 against...
And all because they were third place. They got 3 points.
What group was Wales in that year? Oh, that was the Iceland year, too.
Yeah, that was the Iceland year.
That's what I'm excited for, the storylines. What team is going to be this year's Iceland?
You talk about sports. We have... NBA playoffs has already been fantastic, and it's going to get even better.
Yeah.
We're going to be starting the second round, and then flip the channel to Fox, we have Euro. And then at the same time, end middle June, we're going to put it on NBC on Sunday. We have the French Open.
Yeah.
Then you're going to hit July when the Euro's starting to finish. The finals are beginning. We got Wimbledon.
Before we get into, we're gonna get into more soccer talk because I got two things I want to talk about. I was reading a book that my mom gave me, and the guy works in sports. He's a sports blogger, and he talked about how in sports year round, we have sports year round until there's this awkward part where there's 2 months of just baseball. I just looked at it, I was like, that could not be more wrong, because like you just said, Wimbledon's going on. NBA playoffs is still happening until end of June.
This year, end of July.
End of
this
July.
Year through middle of July.
Middle of July. But usually the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
But then you still have MLS season going on, which I find that's fun to follow. That's still fun to follow. And then big tournaments like Wimbledon, you said. But there's a lot. Summer 2021 is going to be great for a lot of reasons.
This year,
sports and sports is going to be part of that reason.
And you're exactly right. And this year,
Yes, Ari, that's what I was going to get to next. You read my mind.
this year This year NBA playoffs starts July 8th. Usually, you're right. It ends around Father's Day. Ends around third week of June. But this year kind of moved a month, like 4 weeks later. So it's going to start July 8th. Euro final, I think, is like maybe July 11th, because it's usually on a Sunday. So that'll be right in between Game 2 and Game 3 of the finals. And then French Open, I think, ends in June. And
then we have Olympics.
And then, I forgot about that. And then NBA ends. Then we got the draft. Euro had already ended. And then we're going to have Olympics.
And then training camp starts, and before we know it, it's time for MLB playoffs and NFL season.
So we just came back from a year ago. Sports wasn't here. A year later, this might be the greatest sports summer in a while. In a while.
It's a good time to get cable if you don't have it right now.
And Josh is right. And disc golf.
And disc golf. Paul McBeth, the stallion of the disc golf world.
Paul McBeth.
We're going to watch some disc golf.
Compare him to other athletes. Is Paul McBeth the Messi Ronaldo? Is he the LeBron Jordan? Is he the Tom Brady?
Who is the one guy? All right. No. He is Serena Williams.
Wow.
No, he's Serena Williams in her prime.
Okay.
When you just knew that she was just going to blow the competition. Yeah, unbeatable. Paul McBeth can go down 3 sets and come back and beat you.
Wow.
Paul McBeth can come down.
Wow. 3 sets. Usually the game ends by then.
Exactly. It could be. That's what you're thinking. It's game over. There's no way.
Game over.
Just before you know it, we have the back 9.
Wow.
And he can just destroy you from there. We're gonna watch some disc golf because
I can't wait.
The disc golf tracker, man. I tell you, I always tell Josh and Nico, I love watching it more than playing it because it's just so cool. Because I can't do what those people are doing. I can't throw it. I'm just so fascinated. But yeah, there's like a disc golf tournament every week, and it gets published on YouTube. The Emporia one was good. I haven't watched in a couple weeks.
That's the heart of disc golf, isn't it? That's the Madison Square Garden of disc golf.
Kansas has the capital of soccer, and the soccer capital, and the disc golf capital.
Wow.
You did skip over one, but it's all right because I had it pulled up, and it's the Gold Cup, one that's not as big name as the other ones.
The Gold Cup.
Gold Cup starts in June.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. It starts in July 10th and it goes till August 1st. So another one that's going to be taking place.
That's basically the Euro.
Well, that's
the U.S.
Yes, that's how. If the U.S. is going to qualify for the World Cup, make it easy on yourself and
look good in the gold. Look good in the Gold Cup.
Yes.
And
Argentina is part of the Gold Cup, right?
So the way North America does it is they have because they're on a lot of countries in North America. Mm-hmm. They have to add other countries.
Oh yeah, because you got Honduras, El Salvador.
They're still part of those.
You
Qatar, Qatar's in it.
Oh, they are.
Sometimes Mexico's in it.
Okay. All right, so they're mad. Let's see.
Yeah, Qatar was invited. And then the rest, and then it's going to be some of these smaller island countries.
What you got?
I'm just looking at the qualification type stuff.
Yeah, so
but
World Cup runs July 10th to August 1st, and then excuse me, Gold Cup, and then of course you have the World Cup qualifiers.
Wow.
Starting in September, that go through November.
That in the fall. That's pretty good. Iran needs to make it really hard on themselves.
Oh, excuse me. It goes all the way till March.
Iran made it really hard on themselves in Asia, and they have to win these next few games to have a chance to stay in qualification. But I'm looking at the U.S. stuff right now, and I know Kansas City's hosting some group stage games.
Yeah. Let's see. They do have some home matches listed on their schedule. They'll play Jamaica at home on October 7th. They have a bunch of friendlies. CONCACAF Nations League. That's not a World Cup qualifier. That's just
No, CONCACAF Nations League is supposed to I thought substitute for friendlies, but they still do friendlies. So the different continents have that Nations League. Honestly, doesn't mean much. I know on the Euro side, the way you do a Nations League can help you qualify for Euro. Like if you miss qualification, how you ranked in Nations League, it can benefit you.
Gotcha.
If you won your nations, and it's divided into like 4 levels. So like in Europe, you have the super small countries are in level 4. So they just try and win level 4. But like Germany, all the top teams are in level 1.
Gotcha.
Granted, how hard are they trying? I'm not sure.
Arian says Qatar is getting destroyed by Trinidad and Tobago. They don't deserve to play in any tournaments. You're right, they don't. When you already qualify for the World Cup, should you?
I mean, you should
Yeah,
still play
of course.
to be warm. No, really, be warm. I didn't mean it as a joke. You gotta.
No, I know. I was just saying it's already warm there. That's why they have to do it in December.
But they have Honduras, Panama, and Grenada in their group. I mean, not like CONCACAF is difficult, but those are 3 super easy teams. That is an easy group. I mean, U.S. at least has Canada. That's going to be a good game in Kansas City. Kansas City's hosting 5 matches.
Canada was in the last World Cup, weren't they? The one
They
in Russia?
weren't.
No, they weren't.
Canada hasn't made a World Cup in I don't know when.
That was the only reason Russia qualified, though, is because they hosted. Because usually they're not good.
The host always.
Right.
They're all right. I think they made 2010. They didn't make 2014.
I just remember Nico telling me that.
And they did well in 2018. They made the quarterfinals.
Didn't the U.S. lose to Trinidad and Tobago? Yes, they did. But you should watch the, I think it was the Panama game that was happening around the same time. You should go and YouTube the broadcast of that because that is one of the. That's why we just love sports. The U.S. may have not qualified, but it was either Panama or Puerto Rico. They needed the U.S. to lose in order for their team to qualify.
Maybe Panama. Yeah.
I'll have to look back at the last World Cup, but the broadcast crew, I think it was the first World Cup that country had qualified for ever or so long, and the broadcast crew was just going nuts. And that was like the one shining moment of U.S. not making it.
And Canada hasn't made a World Cup, has only made 1 World Cup, and that was in 1986. But they have Davies.
It was Peru. It was Peru.
It was Peru. Are you sure it was Peru?
I'm looking. Oh, Panama. It's Panama.
It was Panama. Okay.
Thank you.
No, you're good. But
I just saw the first P country, and I was like, "Oh,
Peru.
They're not usually in it."
Peru. They were in it last time, but they're in South America. That's why. Yes.
Me. I don't got mine. Where's my map at?
I put it maybe. Oh,
where's my place? Where is that place?
I put it in there.
Yeah, I learned recently that Egypt was in South America. I'm just joking. I did get confused where it was at for a second.
You're right. So we got a lot of sports then. I'm gonna make a little table thing so I can be organized of the sports.
Who's your Wimbledon winners for this year?
Wimbledon.
Oh man, gold.
I don't know. We gotta wait till that gets closer. That'll be June 28th to July 11th. Wait, so that's July 11th. So then Euro 2021 is when to win. Euro is also July 11th. What? So we have 48 hours. Game 2 of NBA Finals, Euro Final, Wimbledon Final.
That's Euro, right? That's Euro?
Yeah, Euro.
Yeah, cool.
And Game 3 NBA Finals. We have 2 Finals games, 2 Wimbledon Finals on the men's and women's side, and the Euro Final. Within 48 hours. At least it's a weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
And you know what kicks off our summer of sports?
What?
Champions League Finals.
Champions League. Finals. You're right.
You know where they're playing it at? It's a neutral site, but I think they should move it. They're playing it at Porto.
Mm-hmm.
They need to move that game to England, like Wembley or something.
Yeah, it's funny. England said that they weren't allowed to go play in Turkey. When they did that, they did. I was wondering if they did that so they could bring it to England. And you know why? if they bring it to England, it's probably more money for them if they have fans because it's two England sides. So I was hoping that they weren't doing that just because of the money. But when it moved to Porto, like that kind of, they said it was for COVID reasons that they couldn't go to Turkey and stuff. But I see why you would say England because it is two England teams. Manchester United, Chelsea, maybe put it in Liverpool.
Put it in Liverpool. Yeah, that's another lot of historic states.
Wow, Man City's owner is paying for City fans to go for the game.
You know what? When your financial when your value is when your net worth is publicly known, I feel like that's a mandatory thing to do. Clark Hunt paid for all the Chiefs employees to go to the Super Bowl last year, so
But
that's good on him. Good owners. Good owner.
Champions
Don't join
League-
the Super League though.
Champions League,
That makes up for the Super League.
Champions League final should be good because Man City's probably the better team. They're the Premier League champions, but they haven't. I think they played Chelsea twice this season, or the last two times they played Chelsea. Sorry, they lost this season. Man City.
So it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year.
It is. It is.
So that's good. At least show you that Man City is not not the big favorite in this one. It's actually going to be pretty competitive.
I think it will. It'll probably be really defensive, is what I think. But I mean, that'll be over the weekend. I mean, it's only Monday, but I guess that'll be Saturday.
No, Bibbs. I don't want to watch the Super League. No one. Super League's dumb. But there is going to be a Super League for high school basketball. It has like 6 teams in it for the 2021-22 season. That's high school basketball.
There might be a Super League for golf.
U.S. Open is open. U.S. Open is soon.
You're right. That's around Father's Day. But
thank you, our varsity golfer.
Speaking of varsity golf, Bibbs was on varsity golf too back.
We have 2 legends in the house.
Back when dinosaurs still roamed.
It's like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson in the comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Mickelson though. I was enjoying his Twitter yesterday.
Oldest major champion in golf history.
Yeah.
We saw history unfold.
Did you hear about Brooks Koepka?
What happened? He said he hurt his leg?
No, he said someone was trying to hurt. Yeah, someone was trying to hurt him. Oh wow, Hey, hey, you got to miss graduations today?
For him, it is because it was rained out on Sunday. Saturday. Arian Al-Hassani.
Your name should be spelled ARE-IA. No,
You're right. REN. But so the 3 times they played this season, in fact, this year, Chelsea won twice. Man City won the first time, but when they played in May, Chelsea won. When they played in April, Chelsea won.
2-0, 1-0, 2-1s.
It was 2-1 and 1-0 for Chelsea. But then the first one, the beginning of January, was 3-1 for Man City.
So I'm guessing 2.5 goals total for the over/under.
2.5 for the over/under. That sounds right. Sounds right.
Take the under. I've learned in Champions Finals, take the under. Because it'll either go to PKs or a team will win 1-0.
I feel like it'll go to extra time.
Yeah. That could be, yeah.
I think it's 1 in extra time. You're going to hear it here first. It's 1 in extra time. Champions League.
Who wins?
I bet I'll be wrong about who wins. But I think Man City wins.
There you go. I like that prediction. Because that's what I was going to say, man. Yeah,
I would think Man City will win. That's why I wanted. I don't think I wanted this Man City Chelsea game, but that will be fine.
I'm embarrassed.
Why?
It has been so long since I've looked at a map. To be honest with you, man, this is embarrassing. Philippines is all the way out on the.
Yeah, they aren't really connected.
No, it's its own thing. That land is its own thing out there.
It is.
Norway, Sweden, Finland.
The Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they're scandalous. No, I'm kidding. Interesting. It's just been so long. It's been so long. You know, you go in high school, everyone's got a map pulled down across the whiteboard. I'm gonna start using placemats when I eat now. Would you like to hear the groups for Euro?
Let's go through them. Yeah.
Group A: Turkey, Italy, Wales, Switzerland.
Turkey, Italy, Wales, Switzerland. That's a really good group.
Group
That's the hardest group so far. And because I've looked at it before, but I can't remember, I feel that's my pick so far.
Wait till you hear the last group.
Okay.
Group B: Denmark, Finland, Belgium, Russia.
Denmark, Finland, Belgium, Russia.
Curious to see who that second team's going to come out.
I mean, that's a fun group for me to watch. Not as hard as the first one.
Oh, all these games are going to be fun to watch.
You said Wales, Italy, Switzerland. What was the other team?
Turkey.
Turkey. Yeah.
Just remember Swiss turkey sandwich.
Okay. Wales, Italy, and a Swiss turkey.
On some Italian herbs and cheese bread.
You can have an Italian whale and a Swiss turkey. Okay.
Group C is Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and
Ukraine, man.
North Macedonia.
And remember I mentioned the Nations League, how they have the different groups. North Macedonia is the representative from Group 4. Because usually those teams in that Group 4 of Nations League, they're never going to make anything. So I think they want them. No, they're like...
They're hearing you.
Where's North Macedonia? We don't know.
Under Italy,
Keep looking. Wait, you said North Macedonia
is under Italy.
Who else?
Austria, Ukraine, and Netherlands.
Austria, Ukraine, Netherlands.
I'm curious to see. I got to look at the Netherlands roster. I don't know who's on that team now.
They're supposed to be really good, but they're one of their, if not their best player, is not going to be playing.
Now, here's my favorite group. Group D: England, Croatia, Czech Republic, and Scotland.
Okay,
that's
a good group,
I just want to see Croatia and England again.
That's a good group, too.
Group E: Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovakia.
A lot of these groups are like what you're going to say. I'm going to say this is the marker. Interesting to see who's going to come out as second.
Yeah, a lot of those.
But remember now, the 4 best third-place teams go up. Okay.
Group F.
Group F.
And it should be Group A because this is a stellar group.
Really?
Portugal.
Okay.
France.
Wow.
Germany. Oh my. Hungary. Poor Hungary.
Hungary.
They're going to be hungry for long.
They're going to be. Wow. Yeah, I guess that is better than Group A.
That's the group of death.
I bet that is. But Group A is pretty good. Italy, Turkey, Switzerland, Turkey, Wales. Group A is really good, too.
They got players
Group A is really good, too. Wow, that's a big. Those are the top 2 groups.
Isn't Lewandowski?
Lewandowski's Polish.
Polish. Okay, Polish.
But those are going to be some good games.
There's Turkey. Spain. España. I love that. That just sounds better than Spain. España. Francia.
España. No, France.
France.
How do they say? You know what I always thought would be cool? A map. But you only have the name of the countries that they call themselves. Like Deutschland. Or Mexico.
Where's Deutschland?
Deutschland. That's Germany.
Get out of here. What? I've never heard it be called anything else but Germany.
Yeah, it's Deutschland.
That's better than Germany.
Deutschland.
Mbolo? Question mark?
Let's see who's on the Swiss team.
Oh, he's naming players now. I thought he was
Euro Squad 2021. Actually, it is called the Euro 2020. They announced a 29-man preliminary squad, but I think it has to go to. I think it goes to 25 this year.
What continent is Australia part of, or is it its own thing?
Australia. They're part of us called Australia or Oceania.
Get out of here!
But you know what continent they play in for soccer in FIFA?
I don't.
Asia.
Okay, I was gonna say that. Well, that would be according to the map. That would make a lot of sense.
Its own. You said Alemania. Yeah, in Iran it's Alman. So that's kind of interesting. Embolo. I don't know if Embolo's playing. I'm looking at Turkey. I'm like, I don't. Yeah, Embolo is. I'm sorry. Guess what team Embolo plays for? Your German team, Mönchengladbach. But
Yes, they're doing. They finished mid group this year in Bunda.
I'm wondering if Shaqiri is going to make the team or Xhaka, right? Those are two of the top players, old players. There's some guys whose names I recognize from the Switzerland team, maybe playing their final Switzerland game.
Interesting.
Hey Sam, how we doing?
Fellas, yeah.
Um,
Australia is the continent.
have I ever
That's pretty badass.
explained to
Continent.
you one of the intersections of sports and politics related to Switzerland soccer that I love?
Tell me. No, yeah, I think you
I'm
have.
glad.
And we've talked a lot about sports and politics.
World Cup last year. Switzerland and Serbia are playing. Switzerland and Serbia, okay? We don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was personal for some of the players on the Swiss team.
Yeah.
Well, Serbia scores the first goal in the 5th minute, and then Switzerland scores 52nd minute, second half. It's tied 1-1. And then what happens? Switzerland wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second group stage match in the 90th minute. And how do they celebrate? Switzerland goes to the camera and does this. All their players doing this. Why? We don't know. Well, back in the day, Yugoslavia was a big country. Some would argue if they were still a country, they'd be one of the best teams in European soccer.
They got split up, right?
They got split up. Big war.
Yeah.
Just a few years before we were born.
Mm.
Early 90s, I believe.
Mm.
Well, now it's different countries. One of the countries is Albania. One of Sam's favorite artists, Action Bronson, from Albania. Dua Lipa, her family, from Albania. I should say Action Bronson's family, from Albania. And there's a lot of Swiss players who have Albanian heritage. What's the Albanian flag? This. Well, Serbia, the team they're playing against, doesn't recognize Albania as a country.
Wow.
So those players took that personally. So when they win, players like Shaqiri, Xhaka, who Xhaka's brother might play for Albania. Xhaka's brother plays for a different team. I forgot which team. It's either Romania or Albania. One of those. There was a defender. They all did this. FIFA got mad. They were going to suspend them for the tournament. They ended up not. They threatened, yeah. But that's an intersection of sports politics where that was personal for them because they're playing against a team that doesn't recognize their heritage.
Why would you suspend a team for that? That's just nation pride right there.
Yeah.
That's just a rivalry.
This article from The Guardian says Switzerland's Xhaka and Shaqiri charged by FIFA over Serbia goal celebrations.
Oh, because FIFA wants to keep politics out of sports, huh?
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
They are both.
Maybe they should keep their own politics out of their work.
They are of Albanian Kosovan heritage.
Where's Albania at?
Somewhere in Europe. Okay, you got to look here.
You're like Young Thug right now, and you're showing me something on the computer. That meme. That's Congo.
No, I know. Okay, so we're gonna be right here. That's Congo.
I don't. Oh, there it is. 19. All right, I'll find it now. Okay, there it is. It's right by Macedonia. Oh, hey, it's right by Macedonia and Greece.
Oh, right by Macedonia.
Yep, right there. There's
In
Macedonia
Greece.
in the orange, and then Greece in the purple.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Bibs from the top.
Bibs. Bang!
Let's go.
Bang! Bibs from downtown.
Bibs should be on the Lakers. They need him badly right now.
Bibs gonna be like Jokic.
Man, Jokic getting shut down. Sorry,
down?
Sam was telling me about that game. Yeah, in the playoff game, because I didn't watch any of the ones.
Yeah, I
on
didn't.
Saturday.
I didn't watch Portland Denver. I just looked at the box score.
It was Dame. All I saw on Instagram was it's Dame time, and I'm like, oh, they must have won.
Yeah, I thought they took over, and then Sam said it was close for a while. It seemed like it was close for like up until towards the bottom third of the third quarter.
Yeah, it's and I think it's a big reason why they were able to win by so much was Jokic was shut down. You know, they were able to obviously Jokic had a double-double and he had 34 points, but earlier in the game.
You said he was shut down. Yeah, he
Just
did have
getting shut
34
down.
points.
Well, I mean,
end the game. Okay.
what do we call
34 points, 16 rebounds.
what do we call a team could score 28 points and still lose 50 to 24, or 28, and a quarterback could still have 300. It's garbage time stuff. Garbage time. Garbage time.
Yeah.
Stat
Okay.
padding.
Yeah. Lillard had 34 points, 5 for 12 from 3. 13 assists. I think that's the big thing. You got to stop, like, you're double teaming Lillard. You got someone else open.
Well, yeah, he spread the wealth out.
The big
McCollum
thing for
showed
them is
up.
going to be people like Cantor, Nurkic, kind of outplaying how they're going to be defending, assuming they're defending Jokic. And they play tonight, I believe, Game 2.
Game 2 of some NBA Finals happening tonight. We got Heat Bucks.
We got 2 games.
Trailblazers Nuggets.
2 really good. I think they're both 3-6 matchups.
Yes, they are both 3-6 matchups. Yesterday's games were good. Grizzlies got the upset over the Jazz in Game 1. Hawks beat the Knicks in a very close game. First playoff game in New York in some time. Everyone was kind of happy that someone had tweeted out, it felt like yesterday being today felt like today was a day when sports really, felt like it was back to normal. So yeah, that was NBA Finals and we got the NHL playoffs happening as well too. The Bruins finished their 4-1 series win over the Capitals. Go Boston. Jeff was upset when the Hawks won. Yeah, that was all in New York was a wet paper towel when that happened. They were damp.
Here's something I told Lily.
What did you tell Lily?
Listen.
And I'm going to watch her because she's going to be like,
You know what's better than a playoff game, Madison Square Garden?
What's better than the playoff game at Madison Square Garden?
Winning as the opponent in a playoff game in Madison Square Garden. I mean, he did. What did he say? We can't say it on camera, but he told them he heard the words. He heard and Trae Young's a player. I didn't understand why KU students always were kind of,
because
big on not liking him, and I didn't understand why.
Because he was getting all the national attention in the Big 12, and KU loves attention.
And when he came to KU, he still played well, but Devontae kind of shut him down compared to other people.
Oh yeah, no,
I was fine with it.
Yes,
but he still, he told them he heard the words, and I was wondering why the Knicks fans they kept dancing. They were doing well, but why are you cheering when there's 2 minutes left? You're only up by 3. Jump! I know their stadium's going big. What's his face? The comedian. I can't do his accent. What's his name? The one thing I know about him, I can't say because I know Armand's going to say something bad.
Here, we'll put it on mute.
He played.
You put it on mute.
No. Don't put it on mute. Oh. He played in the movie. This is bad.
Just tell me the movie.
Morgan. No, last name Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Spike Lee's not a comedian.
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan was there.
Tracy Morgan's doing this. That kind of killed me. Right, Spike Lee's getting set, which I'm not like bashing them for doing that, but you guys were getting too excited, giving fuel to this young Hawks team. Bogdanovich was doing well, and you're forgetting about Trae Young.
Isn't that what the Knicks fans are like known for though? It's just getting overly excited.
There's a documentary, Spike Lee, right? That's what
Trae Young entered Reggie Miller in that game.
All he needed was Spike, but Spike Lee was smart. We didn't see the camera looking at Spike Lee saying things. Maybe he had his mask on, but he wasn't talking. Like maybe he learned his lesson from Reggie Miller. But the other fans didn't. No. It was nice to see a full crowd, though, because that's what I've really wanted to see in the playoffs, a full crowd.
Did they have a vaccinated and unvaccinated section? Because I saw something on Twitter. I just didn't know which arena it was.
I don't know. Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know what arena for what sport.
But Stanley Cup playoffs
Stanley Cup playoffs are happening too. A couple teams have made the second round.
That's so sad. I look up NHL playoffs and it says, and it takes me to NFL playoffs. That's sad. Spike Lee might be realizing inside he is a comedian. Good point, Bibbs. That's good. That's a good point.
He might be.
This guy,
But
is
that
this
is,
guy a
he
lawyer?
spent millions. He's thought about it. This guy spent millions, though.
Love you, cousin Steph. Have a good appointment.
He spent millions in for New York Knicks games, merchandise, all that.
Bibbs spent millions?
No, not yet.
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Oh, there we go. Wi-Fi was down for a second.
Oh, I thought someone said something.
No. What other games happened yesterday? Yeah, you're right. It has been a really good NBA playoff so far. Early game one upsets. Which I got a question for you.
Tell me.
Out of the upsets that happened so far, which team do you think will succeed or complete the upset in a series win?
In the playoffs?
Yeah, Blazers, who are up 1-0 right now, as the underdog. Mavericks are up 1-0.
One of Jokic's nicknames is Big Honey or Cookie Monster.
He's changing the game. He's opening the door for
you said out of the
sinners with a belly.
First round.
Grizzlies are up 1-0 as the 8th seed. What else is happening?
7 seed, 6 seed. You have Blazers. 5 seed. You have Hawks. Are those the 3?
Yeah, I guess it's only on the Western Conference where there's only upsets. Or in the Hawks 5-4. Yeah,
that's a 5-4.
That's called an even matchup.
Mm-hmm. Especially those two teams. Right, 4 through 6, it was really close on the east side. Dallas too. But of all the teams, of all those 4 higher seeded teams, I would say Portland. Although I didn't pick them in my bracket, but that was a hard one to pick.
Did you do ESPN
yeah, I did
pick
a bracket. Them? No, on NBA. I did do an ESPN, but on NBA, NBA had like a bracket you could do.
Gotcha.
But I think of those Portland. Dallas, I'm just going to let them do it. I don't want to predict anything. I'm just going to let it do it,
You don't want to jinx it.
Clippers had a great dunk. They had a really great dunk, but, Luka had some good plays too.
Mm.
And they ended up winning that game well. It was close till like last 1 minute, 90 seconds. But, they'll play tomorrow night. So we'll see how Dallas can do. If they can go up 2-0 and go home, that's really nice. Same thing with the Hawks for any of these teams. But I think out of any of those, Portland. But I'm excited. That's one of the series I'm really excited for. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to see Denver win. I do really like Jokic. I like a lot of players on this team. I'm a big player guy. I love a lot of players. But that'd be a nice 7-game series.
It would be.
That's a nice, coin flip 7-game series. I'd say the same about Milwaukee, Miami. Knicks, Atlanta, right? That I don't know who would win that 7 game. Phoenix, LA. I don't know.
I like Knicks and Atlanta going 7 because I want to see a Game 7 in Madison Square Garden go down. But yeah, when it comes to talent on the court and players play, Blazers are the Nuggets because those are teams that have a star player, but then also have a roster around that.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Trae Young had to sing he was the
moment. Yeah. But Bogdanovic, he was playing well too. Mm-hmm. That's another team you said roster. Maybe a team looking to make the next step. Looking forward. They just made their interim coach. He's going to be staying as the head coach.
Who?
Nate McMillan, I think his name. Who left Pacers. Pacers didn't like him. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see him kind of doing better at a different team, back in the playoffs, while his whole team isn't.
Back in the playoffs.
We did mention it, Jeff. History being made. 50-year-old man playing in his prime. Phil Mickelson. That was good because he was, I think, leading the whole time. And, me and Jeff had our eyes on the TV. We were commentating while watching. And Mickelson was, towards the end making a couple mistakes. But no one else behind him was doing what they needed to do to get
They didn't
closer.
take advantage of it.
They weren't taking advantage. So it was hard because we were looking at the score. Mickelson had that 3-stroke lead. Went to 2 strokes. Then I don't know how it ended up. But Jeff, what he was losing it looking at the crowd. They were just following. Did you see those pictures?
Yeah.
Swarming the green as he sang. The crowd was going nuts. That's Jeff.
I could hear they were doing. I was working at the radio yesterday, and we were broadcasting the PGA Championship. You could hear the fans just going nuts after each swing.
Get in the hole. That's what they were saying.
Get in the hole. Yeah, they were. The commentators described it as you'll only see that type of fan environment for two golfers, Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
And the old man still got it.
Yeah.
Becoming the oldest winning golfer to ever win a major championship. I was talking to my friend yesterday.
I like
Sean. I was talking to Sean. We're blessed, man.
Yes.
In sports, we are so blessed.
Yes.
Because I told him, all right, major sports. We have seen the best. We've seen Tom Brady. We've got to see LeBron James. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time in NFL history. LeBron James is a player that you can debate about with Michael Jordan as the GOAT. I hate that debate because they're two different style players and they're two amazing basketball players. Mm-hmm. But the fact that we've got to see one of them is already, that's nice. That's great. Baseball, we've got to see. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who's a baseball great.
Yankees.
We got to see great teams. The Red Sox. We got to see the Yankees. We got to see Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter.
Cardinals were sometimes
Mariano Rivera, Randy Johnson,
Albert Pujols.
We got to see baseball is like basketball. There's just so many great players that make the sport special.
We're seeing Mike Trout. We're seeing great ones that have already been great.
But in the sports that you don't hear about a lot, we've got to see the best swimmers. We've got to see the best tennis players.
On both sides.
That's
what's great.
We've got to see the best golfers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to see the best
soccer
players. Yes. We've got to see the best soccer players. We have truly seen GOATs in all sports, not just the major sports.
The ends,
we've got to see Sidney Crosby play. I won't leave out the NHL. We've got to see
Frisbee golf.
We've got to see Paul McBeth play.
Paul McBeth.
He is the
Serena Williams of disc golf. That's
the Serena Williams of disc golf. And Bibbs, you're right. At the end was the best quote. Very true. And that's golf. Right. That's golf. I feel like there is no cutoff. There is no specific age for retirement. NFL, 40 is too old.
You could still
NBA, 35, 36 is too old.
But golf, you could still make money. I mean, if they're playing to make money, and maybe they truly have fun just playing around, and if they aren't going there thinking they're going to win, if Mickelson's going, I'm probably not going to win again, or I could go on a hot streak. He's just going to go. Best case scenario, he wins.
Best case scenario.
Maybe he wins some more money. Regardless, he probably loves golf.
No matter what, if
he's making money every time he's doing it, he's having fun.
Yeah,
doing what he loves, all that. Mickelson, but now the bar is reset because he is the oldest major champion. Now it's like, all right, you can still win a championship however old he is. Yeah, he's 50.
50, and I'm sure enough. I think he'll probably win another. Maybe who knows?
He's now at 6 majors, and that ties him at 12th all time. Huh? Ties him with 2 others at 12th. I mean, Nicklaus has 18, Woods has 11, Walter Hagen. Earlier, 100 years ago, he had 11. But then you see you got 9, 8, 7, and then 6 for Mickelson.
Wow, I didn't realize. Tiger Woods is only 3 back. Okay.
Yeah, he's only 3 back.
How many major? I got a question for the golfers. How many major tournaments are there in the PGA Tour?
Do you want me to answer, or should I let them?
Nah, let them. I want to see. Maybe.
Who's going to be
numbers
first?
Will be different.
Bibbs? Maybe Jeff?
Arian,
if he's still in here.
So is he going to graduation then?
Yeah, it's at 5:30. I gotta go.
Yeah, you got. Yeah. 4. Is that right?
There's 4.
4. Yeah, 4.
Yeah, you're right.
PGA, Masters, U.S. Open, and the British Open.
Yeah, called the Open Championship.
Open Championship.
Jeff comes in 4. Just like tennis, right?
Yeah.
There's 4.
4 majors. Soccer, there's 4 major Cubs.
World
that's
Cup,
not really
Euro.
a thing. I feel like when you talk about majors, it's with these individual sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like golf and tennis.
Gotcha.
But then that goes to
But like I said, we got to see the best swimmers. We got to see.
You're right.
Am I leaving a sport out? Oh, we got to see the best NASCAR drivers.
There's a sport we didn't talk about. It was on Twitter. Simone Biles, who
Gymnastics.
could go down as the all-time great gymnast. She completed a trick that no one's ever tried. It's so dangerous, no one's ever tried.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even know what it is, but jumps to the.
Go watch it on Twitter.
It was crazy. She's crazy to watch. That Olympics, Allie Raisman did well, and she knew she got the silver.
Yeah.
Getting hype about gymnastics, about an all-floor routine, whatever it is. And if she does well at this, and Bibb says kind of there's 5. There's that Players' Championship.
That's okay, yeah.
Maybe the best one that's not considered a major, but still part of that PGA Tour.
Mm-hmm.
That's big for those PGA players.
Those ones are for the Rory McIlroys to win. I'm sorry, that's disrespectful.
He's waiting for that Masters, I believe.
Yeah.
He's one of those players we're seeing now who's won 3 majors. You know, Mickelson's won 3, looking for that career Grand Slam. But if Simone Biles shows up this Olympics, she'll be considered the greatest ever in her sport. A long sport. The greatest ever.
Where were you when were you at home watching that when we first got to see Simone Biles in the Olympics?
I think I was.
I'm starting to think. We always talk about where were you when Royals or Chiefs won this. Mm-hmm. Where were you for the big moments? I remember
Michael for the big 4. What was it? The relay, the 4x100 relay.
I was at Josh's house
against France in 2008.
Yes,
where they were talking smack and they were gonna win.
Right next to each other. They were in the same.
The commentator said that's one of the greatest videos to watch. I'm gonna show Lily after this.
Yeah, we need a TV. Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah. That's awesome, though. That's awesome.
They were right. They were fingertip.
Commentator said it's over, and he's going through, and then he's like, but that's something about these sports commentators. Obviously, you got that swimming guy. They know he's coming up. Mm-hmm. Like, they know he's getting close. You can't tell he's getting close.
I will never forget the hand hitting the wall because it went.
Phelps getting crazy. Although he wasn't the last one.
No, he wasn't.
He said it. He did well.
Robe is very comfy. Let's see. Where were you when? Let's see. Where were you when? Do you remember when Derek Jeter's last baseball game? Do you know where you were?
I remember seeing the highlight. I didn't watch it, but like Next Day Sports Center. Yeah, that was really cool, right? His last game was it at Yankee Stadium or ever?
Last game at Yankee Stadium,
and it's a walk-off hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And the announcer says, "When fantasy becomes reality." I just think that's really cool. Yeah. When Phelps beat
No, Jeff, I don't remember.
No, Phelps beat this one guy by 0.01 seconds
right.
once, and then last year, remember, the Brazil guy was doing shadow boxing.
Oh, and he got absolutely.
Then Phelps was listening to a Future song. He looks like this, and he beat him well.
Broke the home run record. I was in our living room.
I was on SportsCenter. That's where I was.
You were at the game?
No, I was like watching SportsCenter.
Where were you at though? Obviously, you were watching TV.
I was on my couch watching SportsCenter when they said he won. But like you always heard about him and like the steroids and all that. Whether that I know some people don't want to consider him.
No, obviously, but it's still one of those moments that I remember. I was in the living room watching it on our TV. I was standing up.
Where were you during the last episode of The Last Dance? We were having our last dance at the 12:30 Tennessee.
Was that in July?
That was May.
Yeah. It wasn't our last day.
I know, but it was like our graduation day. It was the day after graduation.
It was?
Yeah. It was the day of graduation. Remember, we were about to have people over, have that late night?
Uh-huh.
That was the last episode.
Where were you when LeBron won
against Oklahoma City?
No, against the Warriors.
I was at my friend's house.
When he won for Cleveland.
The block. Kyrie Irving.
Where were you when I'm trying to think of Serena Williams has just won so many championships.
Do you remember a notable one maybe out of those? I can't think of one where it was.
For Serena, I don't. I remember a notable Wimbledon, which was the day after. I think Serena beat Venus.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
2009, but that was when Roger Federer beat now Nadal's tied it at 20, but it was at 16 Grand Slams. Everyone, Michael Jordan,
Yes.
everyone had the commercial ready. Everyone clapping. He beat the American.
Andy Murray? Or no, sorry,
No.
not Andy Murray.
Well,
Roddick.
he beat the American record, but yeah, he beat Andy Roddick. 5th set where it had to go to extra games.
Yes.
In Roddick's balling, and Federer saying, "Oh, I'm happy to win," and then Roddick's like, "You've already won too many." Like, but that was okay.
Yeah, I'm
was
always
at-
at Sean's house for the tennis. I was always at
Now,
Sean's house for the tennis.
I
championship.
wish I was where Jeff was. Jeff was at Chili's, where where fantasy becomes reality. Chili's.
I haven't been to a Chili's in a minute, but I know they're better than Applebee's. But for some reason, I still choose
Me and
Applebee's.
my
Maybe it's a
family,
half-price apps.
We were always big on their side salad. I don't know why.
Chili's?
They have great ranch.
Interesting. Cause that's
Or
like
they used to back in the day. My mom was big on it. We went Chili's a lot.
That's like one of the pizza places. They have really good ranch too. Pizza shop. Pizza shop.
You know who has really good ranch, but they didn't give it to me last time?
Wingstop. Have you ever the peanut? Remember the peanut? Good ranch. Good ranch. Where were you when Andy Murray won Wimbledon? Do you remember?
I was on vacation in Chicago.
Ah, nice. Visiting good old Chi-Town.
Yeah, Chi-Town, D Rose.
The Nike store must have had Andy Murray.
Nike Town. Oh my, that was crazy. That's 4 stories. That's awesome. Didn't buy anything, but it was crazy.
I hear the mall's pretty monumental too. Did you go to the mall
In
at all?
Chicago?
Yeah.
Are you
It's
not talking about Mall of America?
No, I'm not talking about. Literally, someone just told me recently that the Chicago Mall is.
I don't know. I know they have what do they call it? The Miraculous Mile.
Hmm.
It's called
Interesting.
Michigan Ave, and there's like a Michigan Avenue.
Where were you when Tim Tebow came back and beat Alabama? Or no, Cam Newton. Remember when Cam Newton came back and beat Alabama with Auburn?
Bibbs just texted in our group. Does anyone want to go to Chili's sometime this week?
He's in the mood for Chili's. Jeff got him in the mood. If you ever watch a romance movie, just straight romance, watch In the Mood for Love. That will pull
Really?
your heartstrings.
What about Notting Hill?
Yeah, that's rom-com. I'm saying straight romance, no comedy.
Straight romance.
No comedy.
No Crazy Stupid Love.
Shout Bibbs.
You know, I would, but I'll be out of town. Jeff knows that.
Yes, yes. You're gonna go. You got to go get your star. Just like put a sticker with your name on the ground. Let's see. Where were you when? Where were you when John Lester threw a no-hitter against the Royals? Because that was a
saw
big
that
deal.
on
Because he had
SportsCenter.
beat cancer.
Yeah.
That was huge.
I was at my cousin's house, Jeff.
I was at Tony's. Oh, for the Auburn, I was in my basement. I just finished playing Xbox and I tuned into the game, and it was right when they were kicking it off.
On SportsCenter, I see, huh? Oh wow, Auburn just won. Auburn just won. And
Auburn's gonna win the football
some
game.
people thought they stepped out of bounds, but they couldn't review it.
I didn't ever heard of that. Really? Did they do the zoom in on the foot like how they usually?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Alabama's another team. I'm always okay with them.
We got to see
You're right. We got to see them just dominate.
some of the best college.
We saw some of the best teams in team sports. We saw some of the best individuals in individual sports. Men's tennis. We mentioned tennis, but we saw maybe 3 of the greatest all time, maybe greatest dynasty.
Yeah.
A triple dynasty. Knock a head off the
Where were
Mount
you for
Rushmore.
the David Tyree catch? I was at Tony's girlfriend's basement. They were throwing a party because 2 of her cousins were Patriots fans. Yeah,
my.
not a good room to be in. Very quiet. I was excited though. I was cheering on the inside.
I was at home, and my mom was complaining after, saying, "Why is the time going slow?" She didn't want New England to win, and she thought the time was going slow towards the end.
I love that.
Wow.
Your mom's a trash talker.
She
To the refs
watches-
and to the
She
players.
watches 2 minutes of a game. I gotta tell you something. She had this conspiracy yesterday about Buccaneers stuff, but it's not worth our time. But you know what is worth our time? What Jeff just said.
Where were you?
Where were you when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl? Winky face. Where were we physically?
There's a YouTube video of us celebrating.
I don't know if I'm in that video because I was upstairs.
Oh yeah, you were upstairs. You told. Who were you? Who was up there? Was anyone up there with you?
Their names I don't know. Their faces I'll remember forever.
That's beautiful. That's poetic.
That's true. That's true
poetic.
though. That's true.
That's the definition of a moment.
And the thing was, I didn't tell anyone I was going upstairs. We all were there together.
I was too drunk.
30 people, but like me, Jeff, and Ethan were kind of around each other. All I did was I gave Jeff the chain I was wearing, and I walked upstairs. Didn't say anything, but those two knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
They score. I come downstairs. I see them. I just want to hug. Jeff, go upstairs. I just came to say hi. Go back. Next score. Go back. Once it was really ready, then we could all cheer downstairs.
There was no one else that would want to be around for a Super Bowl than that.
And
the people
everyone
that
in the
house.
basement, and I mean every single person, regardless of who they're cheering, I remember that every single person.
Ah,
did this.
yeah.
And that's what I love. We put our teams aside. That night, everyone supported a red team.
Yeah. I'm surprised the TV didn't get broken that night when we celebrated.
You're right. Oh my, great times.
You know what my niece will remember from that? Me throwing up in the trash. That's all.
Oh well.
The next
well.
that was hilarious. She the next morning, hey, you threw up in the over there. She's like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I remember one of your brother's friends was telling his younger kids, like, we're still proud of them regardless of what happens, because we don't think.
Aw.
It was right before 3rd and 15, right before Wasp. And we're still proud of them. I was about to cry.
The talk was already happening.
No, the talk was happening.
The fact that conversation was already happening. Where were you when Croatia made it to the World Cup final? They beat England, right? In the semis? I was in Colorado. I just remember Croatia.
You were in Colorado?
I was in Colorado.
I was in Colorado during that World Cup. I don't know if it was the quarterfinal or the semifinal.
Nico was pissed.
No, it wasn't Nico's friend. It was one of Tony's friends.
Yeah, yeah, not Nico's friends.
Uh.
Nico's friends don't have kids. Nico was mad that year because what day are we checking out of the Airbnb and having to drive home? The day of the World Cup final.
Oh no, we had a trip the day after the World Cup final. We know that.
You guys.
My dad won't. Dr. Al, he's gonna make sure. Like I told him, Euro, once it gets close, I'll sit him down and I'll put on the calendar some of the games he's gonna want to watch.
Yeah.
Because if he has time, he wants to watch. He'll make time on the days he's off. Or maybe record the games he'll miss.
He won't have to record the Champions League final.
We'll be out of town, but we already looked. Well, we're gonna find lunch somewhere.
I was gonna say, you guys. I know you guys already planned that.
I already looked. I looked what time it's gonna be. It's gonna be 12 o'clock. We're gonna find. I said we can find a sports bar. I'm sure. Find a good place. Maybe a soccer bar for feeling crazy.
We're gonna watch soccer at your house a lot this year.
It's a sport.
We're gonna make that a thing. We're gonna make Gold Cup.
Summer.
There's too much soccer this summer to not be watched at Dr. Al's house. And then we're gonna watch NBA Finals at Merriam's place.
NBA Finals. Oh,
watch some basketball.
I'm excited. It's a great sports summer. I'm truly excited. I don't know when was the last time we had this great of a sports summer. I don't know. Maybe we're just relishing in the time, but
Well, do you do some research on it?
Maybe 2016. I don't know.
What happened in Olympics, World Cup?
That's just It was Olympics, Euro.
Oh yeah. Where were you for Portugal and France?
I was at my friend's house. I remember that. That was crazy.
We watched it at a restaurant in Mexico. It was awesome. We had the place to ourselves. This restaurant was empty, and there was two big screens for some reason next to each other with the game. I don't know why they were next to each other on the same channel, but You could just look there, you could look there, or you could just watch halves and it'd still be.
Have you been to Power and Light for a World Cup game, men's or women's, before?
Oh my! That's where I watched like every World Cup, the last World Cup, the Russian one. That's where I watched every game because that was Ghana, right? Group stage, Ghana, Germany, Portugal.
That was 2014.
All right, I watched
Remember,
every
they
game.
didn't make the last one.
I watched every game but the Ghana game there.
I watched 2010. That was the first time. Turn on ESPN, and Pedro Gomez is there and saying, "Hey, I'm here in Kansas City." Tell my dad they're watching the game at Power and Light. Dad's like, "Let's go." We go watch Ghana.
That's a question for you. I have no.
I don't know what Bib's saying. We go watch Ghana and Babes, I'm talking about Chili's, all right? All right? I thought you wanted to go to Chili's. And Ben, Ghana. We watched U.S. Ghana 2010. That we watched the first half of it there. The second half, we watched the Buffalo Wild Wings.
You and who?
Me, my dad, and Ariane.
Gotcha. Second half was better than the first half.
Yeah, well, this is that game in 2010, so they ended up losing in extra time.
Oh, you're talking about 2010. Gotcha.
Yeah,
that was bad.
crazy.
I was. You know where we were. You know where we were. Nico will remember this. That Ghana game. We were in. Oh my God, my mom is the worst with planning things around sports. I need to give her a sports calendar.
I'm making one on Excel.
We were at a family reunion. A family reunion. Not at like a hotel or anything, not a restaurant. We were at a house. Does this house have TVs? Only in the basement. And what TV is it? Some 24-inch TV. And there's 12 of us huddled around it. Just kids. That's the best part. It was just kids huddled around this.
She heard. It's the bad.
We had to go to a family reunion for the World Cup round of 16 game against Ghana. Yes, she remembers. She remembers.
The Veslas.
She remembers. Me and Nico were like, "Do you guys have a TV? Do you guys have a TV?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, the kids are downstairs watching the soccer game." Blessed. So we go down there. We're like, "All right, basement."
She
TV.
knew it. She called them to make sure there's going to be a TV.
Yes. And what happens? We get down there. The TV the size of this freaking laptop already. Chairs are around it, huddled. We get a seat. We're just all watching it, man. Like pissed off. Yeah, and then they end up losing. Damn. I'm glad you brought that game up. That's a memory from the back of the head.
No, I make
Right
sure
there.
with those big sports games, more so our teams. Although I love watching World Cup, right? Not every game's going to be scheduled around there, but regardless of who I'm with, even if I'm with my dad, like we make sure, like that trip we scheduled the day after the World Cup final. Like we wanted to make that a thing.
Have to.
You have to.
Sports is huge.
Sports is huge,
Especially the World Cup.
Especially the World Cup.
World is in it.
The world.
Did they expand it this year?
No.
Or this next year? This next one?
No, they were thinking of 20. They were thinking of it, but now they're thinking 2026 when it's U.S., Canada, Mexico. You know,
A lot of more places to play at, so why not? Where were you for the Belgium game? Tim Howard's
in my basement, Secretary of Defense, but just wasn't enough. You know why? Because in the end, what is sports about? Other than like something like golf,
team.
It's about scoring more than the other team. Oh. You can have a great defense, but U.S. couldn't score. We couldn't score. And when you can't score, you won't win. When you don't score more than the other team.
And it was so controversial because I remember just those fans that are like, if we had the men's leading goal scorer in U.S. history, we would have been fine.
No, if
all we needed was a goal.
Wondolowski can score. If he can score,
just tap it in.
Granted, that was a good Belgium team, though. A team that would produce rising and right now huge stars.
Mm-hmm.
But
last question: where were you when USA Women's beat Japan in the World Cup? When they got revenge?
I was walking from downstairs upstairs because my dad was getting ready, like making the food because the game's about to start, so he's just finishing things to bring downstairs. By the time he's downstairs, they're up 3-0. 3-0. He was watching on the smaller TV, getting it ready so we could go to our huge TV downstairs. The game, he was already 3-0. Carly Lloyd, I was already scoring all these goals.
I like how you said, I was like, when were you? I asked you, when were you when they won? And I'm like, oh, he was walking up the steps when the game was over. No, because that game was over.
That game was over. I was going up and down. Dad, are you watching? Dad, are you watching?
50 yards out. Just about.
They took that to heart.
They took that game personally. They took that loss 4 years ago personally. But then again, another one where I think, you were fine losing to a country like Japan in the World Cup because of what had happened. There was no other country that you would want to.
Well, they had lost. They had lost the last World Cup, and they were a good team. But it was good to they beat them well. And
another not talked about, not rivalry, but talked about teams that met each other a lot in finals because they met each other in the Olympics gold medal match, the Olympics before that World Cup where the U.S. won. U.S. women's team won. Where were you when Megan Rapinoe assisted Abby Wambach against Brazil?
It's at my mom's apartment.
Yeah.
Mom was getting food. We thought the game was over. What a goal. What a goal. And I remember I watched it with my dad. We rewatched it. And my dad was like, all right, it's over. And you know me, I can't, I gotta be. I was like, yeah, let's just watch it. And I'm trying not to ruin it.
Yeah.
I overthink all those things. Like, I will make sure what I'm saying isn't going to give him any hint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And he's ready to go. He's cleaning the food. He's getting ready. He's still watching.
He's cleaning the kitchen. Kitchen's closed the rest of the day.
Rapinoe scores. Penalty. That was awesome.
Done.
And that's when, because remember, Graham Zusi was on the U.S. men's team at the time. And, Rapinoe was actually starting up. A lot of people know her now.
Mm-hmm.
But as she was starting
up,
she'd stick her tongue after every goal, every assist. She was a young player then. A growing player. As soccer was being more important in the U.S. It's like, she's very, we could tell she's very important to the U.S. team. My dad was comparing her to how important Zusi was to, a sporting team.
Gotcha.
He was more important sporting than a U.S., but, that really important midfielder, the creator.
The creator.
And that's what Rapinoe did. A creator who can score. She was great at the crosses. And that was a huge cross. I want to argue Rapinoe's one of the greatest U.S. soccer players of all time.
Again, we got to see Wambach, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hope Solo, one of the best goalies I've ever seen, has issues, has problems, had their problems after in between those two World Cups, had her problems, but when we're talking just on the field play, one of the best goalies I've ever seen. But with that, thank you for tuning in to Coffee's On. This is the one and only one for the week, unless for some reason we. I don't know, decide to do another one this week. No, I was out of town. We didn't do any last week. Armand's going out of town. We're not going to do any more the rest of the week. Final episode next Monday.
If you want.
Memorial Day Monday.
Memorial Day Monday.
We'll
I'll be ready
for
a show. I'll be a memorable. I'll do a show.
The last Coffee's On.
You really? Yeah, unless you want to keep going.
I'm good. You good? Last coffee.
All right.
Well, we got to start our new lives.
You're right.
We got things happen. I don't know if I don't know if the mornings will be as free.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't know if our Wi-Fi strength is good enough where Coffee's.
Yeah, you're right.
Second to last episode.
We need to make some more coffee. We just had one cup,
and we went an hour and a half. It's good. It's all right. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you guys later.
We'll see you next Monday.
For
a Memorial episode on Memorial Day. Memorial Day. All right. Love you, Mom. Bye.